Hello, this is Tim Willis with Full Moon Funnels, and we're going to do another tutorial today. And today we're going to be looking at doing mobile optimization. And we're going to be using the Bridges to Somewhere bridge page that I created a few videos back. And so that's what we have on the screen. And so let's go ahead and start. I'm going to click on the edit button and bring up what we're looking at. We're going to press the hamburger icon and make it a full page. And then just to get started, let's look at our preview, which is this little eyeball here in the upper right hand corner. And so this is going to show us what we would actually see on a live page. And we're going to want to refer to that at some point to double check our work. But right now we can go ahead and get out of that. Now on ClickFunnels 2.0 you have a desktop view and a mobile view. So if we click on the mobile view button, we see it's like this. Okay, and we can kind of see that there's a lot that's missing right here. So let's find out what's going on here. So first of all, we can see we have a desktop only here. So if we go to our section, we're going to just start checking things out here. Because I haven't looked at the mobile view tool yet, so it's more messed up than I thought it would be, but that's okay. Click on settings, and we see that right here at the bottom we have, on visibility, we have all, the desktop icon, mobile icon. And so the first thing we need to do is change that visibility to all. Okay, now that we will save, and then look at our mobile view. Okay, that's much better. Now that we have that section there, we pretty much have most of what we've got there. Now this picture here is in a section. Let's take a look at this section. It is on mobile view, but let's find out now just how far this picture extends down. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and just get rid of this at the section level. Okay, and that gets rid of that. And now we're looking pretty good at being is what we wanted. So at the top we've got our icon and it's centered, that's no problem. We've got a little bar there, which is, let's see if that's on our main page. It is. I think we'll go ahead and get rid of that. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Alright, one thing we might want to change up here is in our 2-column row here is the pictures on the bottom, and I want to have a picture on top. So what I'll do, and this is a very common thing you're going to need to do 2-column rows, so I'm going to duplicate the picture. I'm going to set the top picture to desktop view, and I will set the second picture to mobile view. Okay, so now that's on mobile view, so what I can do now is take that picture, grab it by the move handle, and move it up here. So now the picture's up here and it looks a lot better. So we're going to leave it like that for right now. Everything else is looking fairly decent. Let's go ahead and save. Let's go back to our desktop view. We're going to take a look at the preview, and we'll look at the pop-up in a little bit. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now with mobile view, it can be a little tricky sometimes. There are kind of two ways you can go about that. So one is, now that we're in preview, we can click on our minimize button here, or restore down button rather, on Windows. Okay, now another way we could do that is also if we go to the preview, if we click on dev, excuse me, once we go back to our preview, we also can go to our toolbar here, choose more tools, and choose developer tools, and that's going to bring up the dev tool in Windows that we're able to use. And you can do a whole lot with this. In fact, you could go into a whole multi-hour course on what you can do with this, but at the most basic level, it will allow us to look at our mobile or our desktop view. Now it only does this when you're in the actual page or the preview. It generally doesn't work in the editor. So this little button here, we've got two buttons. We've got this little button that we can select things with. If we click that, you see it will tell us about things about that. It will tell us, in this case, this image, what the name is, what the size is. In the case of this text, it will also tell us the font, pixel size, the color of it. But the next to that is this little button which will switch back between a mobile and a desktop view. So that's another way you can look at things if you're looking at the mobile view. And since that's on every computer, it means you don't have to download any simulators or anything like that. Okay, so I think I'm happy with this page. Let's look at mobile view one more time. So what we can do here is on this headline here, we can click on settings, and for the mobile view we might want to squeeze it down a little bit. Alright, so on our mobile view, if you look under here for the headline, we have font size and we have font size mobile. Now you want to make sure that this thing is not selected, or else it will try to make them both same. And I'm going to change this to pixels, and then I am going to adjust this so that it is a little bit smaller. Let's see what it looks like at 2 lines. Looks a little too small. I think it's okay at 3 lines. Now, given how this looks in mobile, it's off to the side here. And so let's go ahead and just save that for now. Let's go back to our desktop. Okay. And that's what's going on there. So I think I'm going to duplicate this and then set the top one to desktop, and then the bottom one, which now operates as its own element, I'm going to go ahead and set that to a line in the center. I'm going to save that, and then I will change that to mobile view. And I like that look much better. Now that's centered, and I'm okay with the rest of this. The size isn't too bad on the rest of these. We could adjust the size a little bit, but you don't want to go too small, but you don't want it honking big on the mobile view either. And mobile view is really important because you're going to have at least 50% of people seeing what you build in a web page or funnel on mobile devices such as a phone or a tablet. The button seems okay. The bottom part, the footer, seems okay on this page. So I think we will go with this right here. And then let's go back to desktop. And I'm going to get out of this and go back to our workspace. Alright, and then we're going to take a look at this page here. Alright, so sort of the same thing. We're going to take a look at the page. It's nice and short. Let's take a look at it in a preview. Okay, we may want to do something about lining those up. But let's get out of preview for now. Back at the editor, let's take a look at the mobile view. Okay, and again, there's a couple things we could stand to fix here. So the first one, let's go and duplicate the picture like we did on the other page, and we're going to set the top one to desktop view, and the bottom one we will set to mobile view. Alright, now that once we do that, it takes us to the mobile editor, and we're going to go ahead and grab the picture and put it right there. Alright, we see we're still going to need some work to do here, but we're more on the way to what we need to do. Alright, let's go back to the desktop. Now that I think about this, I'm probably just going to go ahead and put this to the left of the line. And then let's take a look at how it looks on mobile now. Okay, it looks fairly decent, or it looks better, although I probably want to go ahead and try to get that down to 2 lines. And so on my font size mobile, I'm going to go ahead and change that to pixels, and we're going to go ahead and make it 2 lines. Okay, and while we're here, we see our button has here. We can adjust the text in the same way on our button, although buttons work a little differently. But here we do have just the primary text. We don't have any subtext, and we can see here that we have the font size and the font size mobile. So let's change that to pixels, and let's try adjusting the size a little bit. Okay, so that's a little too small as 1 line. So we'll probably leave it like that. Although it might be better. Okay, we don't have a. Let's try a line to text in the center. Okay, that looks a little better there. Alright, now we've got that set to all on our view. So when we go back to desktop, it will not show up here because of the size. And I think we'll leave the size on this button the same. I like a big button on the desktop. ahead and look at this headline here, which is a little close. Now all we need to really do there, since this is a mobile only view, is take our top margin and set it to 0, and that's a little better. Now again, we've got a lot of space there on the mobile, and so we might choose to do that, though it's leaving kind of a gap there. Or we'll go back to our desktop and look what's happening here. Okay, so we got 0 top margin there. And we don't want to mess too much with the padding on this, although we could on the second line bring it up some. That's a little better, but now we want to lower this to keep it centered in relation to the picture a little bit, like that. We'll make it 40. Go ahead and save. Let's take a look at the mobile. Okay, still a lot of padding going on there. Now, to some degree, we can get rid of a little bit of that by looking at the padding on our picture. Which it really doesn't have any padding we can play with there. So, in this case, I think what I'll do is go ahead and duplicate the headline. Actually, I think the headline was already duplicated, wasn't it? The headline is still set to all. So anything we would do right now would also affect the other one. Let's go ahead and duplicate that and set this one to desktop. And then we'll set this one to mobile. And we'll go to our mobile view. Okay, something not happening right there. Oh, that's why. Because we didn't actually set the mobile. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now this is headline is set to mobile view. We can go to our settings and play with the top margin some. And that looks a little better. Maybe we can move it up some more. Let's go with that. That looks pretty good. And then if I wanted to, I could do the same thing with the button, but I'm going to leave the button like it is. I think we're pretty much there. Let's go ahead and save. Alright, so now we're looking pretty good there. Let's go ahead and look at our preview. And let's go ahead and look at what it looks like here. Now we could probably stand to adjust the picture size a little bit on mobile. So let's go do that. And so our image width is, our image height is set auto, so we're going to adjust our image width a little bit here until it starts shrinking down. And we'll go with that 249 pixels right there. Save. And let's take a look at the preview. and that's looks a lot better. And you just keep on, adjusting these things, using either that or using the dev tool. Until you get it look like we want. And so I'm pretty happy with that, at least for the purpose of this tutorial. So we'll go ahead and get out of there. We need to do one more thing, which I should have done before, but we need to look at the pop-up. And this is one of the little trickier parts of adjusting in mobile view, but it's not that difficult. So in our editor, we want to go to our toolbar here and click on pop-up, show pop-up, and that's going to show us our pop-up, which looks pretty good. From there, now let's go to preview here. And we got our pop-up set to where it will come up when somebody tries to exit or when somebody presses the button. So let's go ahead and just look at that. Okay, the pop-up's not too bad, and you don't want it super small to, otherwise people would have trouble filling in on a mobile device. So actually I'm okay with the pop-up there, and all the text seems fairly well positioned. So we'll probably just leave that like it is, but you also need to look at that pop-up in mobile and desktop view as well. And that is kind of it for this little bridge page that we looked at today. I'm fairly happy with the mobile view on it now, and with just a few of these simple adjustments, you can get your mobile view looking good, where when people look at your page on a mobile device, it doesn't look all messed up. And if you see a page like that on a mobile device, you're going, I'm not sure. And if you see a section like that on mobile device, you kind of have second thoughts about, do I want to go any further on this site? It looks like these people don't know what they're doing. Their page is all out of whack, and things aren't making any sense. So that's why I'm doing the mobile view, and always checking that on your pages is important. So this is Tim Willis at Full Moon Funnels. That is our tutorial for today on mobile optimization. I am a certified ClickFunnels funnel builder, and I started making tutorials on this YouTube channel. So that is it for today. Go ahead and check the links below in the description. Like and subscribe, and then we will see you next time with another tutorial. Bye.